All right, what's up, guys? It's Aztec 101. I wanted to do a post fight video yesterday, but I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, so it's a late post fight video. But I'm still seeing that this is a top story. It's going to be something we're going to talk about for the next few weeks. Um, Man, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. Let's start actually. Hindsight's 2020, right? So after last night, you saw what happened. Rigo is, whether you want to say he's too small, too old, he's just not as good as Lomachenko. He was outclassed. He wasn't getting beat up. He wasn't getting knocked down. He didn't have any serious injuries. I mean, he claimed that he hurt his hand, but as far as damage from the fight, he wasn't getting beat up. What's up, haplotype? What's up, man? But yeah, like I was saying, Rigo quit on his stool, and just the only thing that I'm thinking about is Rigo asked for this ass whooping. He was begging for it. A lot of people are saying they're not impressed with Lomachenko's performance because Rigo is a smaller fighter, can't give Lomachenko too much credit. But fact of the matter is, Rigo was begging for this fight. And before the fight even happened, I was noticing a lot of people were saying that if Lomachenko didn't take this fight, he was ducking Rigo. Right? So I'm starting to see automatically right after the fight happens, there's been a change of feelings, change of emotions. A lot of people that were backing Rigo up to call out Lomachenko, now there's a few excuses coming out. Oh, Bob Arum, he probably paid off Rigo. Oh, this looks suspicious. It looked just like the Walter situation. No, what happened was Rigo got schooled. He got fucked up. And he just got technically fucked up. That's what happened. I think Rigo is a really good fighter. I can't take anything away from Lomachenko's win because I know Rigo is at a high level. But I think what happened was he's at a high level, and within the first few rounds, he realized he could not go punch for punch with Lomachenko. And I think that took a lot out of him. And by the seventh round, he's made his decision. There's no reason to keep going, right? Let's see here. What's up, Marvin Gardens? Um, Zapata Boxing, many fighters have gone up in weight. It's nothing new. What's funny is that this reminds me a lot of the performance. There's a small difference here, but it reminds me a lot of Mayweather versus Marquez. Marquez was moving up in weight. Mayweather was a bigger fighter. And when the fight actually went down, you had Marquez, who was known to be, this elite counter puncher, was just not able to get his shots off. The only difference between Marquez and Rigo is that Rigo quit. Rigo gave up. That's really the only difference. Exactly, haplotype. Marquez didn't quit. That was the only difference. That's the only difference. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, just like with Mayweather, when Mayweather fought Marquez, there was no one saying, hey, I'm not going to give him that much credit because, he pulled, Marquez up in weight, blah, 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 blah. You still had to give Floyd credit for fighting and beating and technically, I mean, within boxing rules, not beating him up and using your size as an advantage. I mean, outboxing Marquez, you still give Floyd Mayweather credit for that fight, or at least I would, right? Same thing with Lomachenko. Lomachenko, he wasn't bullying Rigo. He wasn't using his size. He wasn't using his reach. He wasn't using this as an advantage to avoid a fight. He just technically outboxed him. That's it. Broner didn't. Zapata Boxing. Broner didn't quit either. Dude has heart. Dog, don't like him, but he went up. Broner went up. You know, moving up in weight does not mean that you're automatically at a disadvantage, because Broner moved up in weight and lost against Maidana. Mikey Garcia moved up in weight to fight Broner and he won. Sometimes you move up in weight and you win. It happens. But you just don't quit. You don't quit. Especially, see, if you were forced into the fight, if you were put in a position where this is the only fight that you can get, and you're forced into a corner where you're fighting when you're not ready, that's one thing. But Rigo was asking for this fight, and then he quits. To me, that's suspect. That's suspect, because I was really asking for the Rigo to stay in his division and fight the fighters around him. I wanted to see him fight Jesse Magdaleno. And the reason why this sucks is that now that he's lost and he quit, even if Magdaleno beats Rigo, there's no credit. The legend of Rigo has disappeared. He's now, people that were following Rigo and were supporting him, at the end of the day, this is not a good look for Rigo, and I think he lost a lot of fans. So anybody else that beats Rigo from now on isn't going to get the same recognition. And Lomachenko is barely getting credit for what he did, because he outboxed a really good boxer. A lot of people thought that Rigo is number one pound for pound, and they've been saying this for years. He's one of the most avoided, that, everyone in the division was ducking him. Even when Lomachenko was being mentioned by Rigo, a lot of people were saying that Bob Arum is scared to put Lomachenko up against Rigo. Turns out that that's not the case, man. Rigo just didn't turn out to be that great. It is what it is. Maybe the real hype job was Rigo. Maybe we hyped them up a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Pac versus De La Hoya. That's right. Mayweather has hurt his hands in many fights and never quit. Yep, I didn't like the fact that he quit. I didn't like that because, Amir Khan moved up in weight to fight Canelo. And he fought until he got knocked the fuck out. He fought until he got knocked out. Kell Brook fought until his face broke. And Guillermo Rigondeaux just quits because he doesn't think he can win, or he's getting embarrassed. I don't know. I don't like the way that comes off, man. You know what? There's very few fighters left in Cuba or coming out of Cuba right now that have been able to keep the reputation that they had 5-7 years ago. I'm just starting to see a lot of these fighters that were top dogs. They're really being exposed. Erislandy Lara is being exposed as a weak champion. Guillermo Rigondeaux is exposed as a quitter. Right? These were, Ortiz is, Luis Ortiz exposed as a cheater. I don't know. Hopefully that Cuba ends up coming out with another boxer. Hopefully there's another Cuban. But we need a new batch of Cuban fighters, because the ones that we have right now are trash. They're trash. This was Loma's easiest fight since those 2 undercard fights he had in 2015. Yeah, it looked like it was easy. It's surprising that Rigo took $400,000 versus Loma. I'm not surprised. Why would Rigo, if Loma's going to get let's say 1.2, between 1.2 and 1.5, I would imagine whatever Loma gets, Rigo would get half of that. Pretty much. Because Rigo's Rigo's promotional company isn't doing shit to help promote this fight. Rigo, whoever's managing Rigo, he's not with Top Rank. Whoever's managing and promoting Rigo, which um, should be what's a Jay-Z's promotional company? That's who Rigo is with right now, right? So it's their job to negotiate on Rigo's behalf, and if they only got 400,000, I mean, that's their fault. I mean, it is what it is. Rock Nation, that's right, Rock Nation. So Rock Nation should have been negotiating. And then here's the thing: how much of that 400,000 will Rock Nation get? See, we're looking at it as if Rigo got fucked based on his percentages on what he got. But I honestly, what I'm really curious is how much is Rock Nation going to get out of that 400,000? You know, they didn't help promote the fight. I didn't see Rock Nation's name fucking pushing this fight. They didn't throw a punch. How much are they getting? That's what I'm curious about. How much will Rigo have to pay Rock Nation? Because then he'll have to pay Rock Nation, pay his taxes, and then he'll get left with some change. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe at the end of the day, Rock Nation is taking too much away from Rigo, and Rigo didn't feel like he was getting paid what he was supposed to be getting paid, or I don't know what the feeling is, but at the end of the day, if Rigo was interested in continuing his boxing career, he wouldn't let this happen because it's a bad look, and I don't think a lot of people, they're really that invested in Rigo. I've said this before. Rigo and Lara have fake fans. They're fans that pop in every now and then. They pop in when there's, Twitter wars or when they're going on social media calling people out. These fans pop in and they say, they support Rigo and they support Lara. But then in between fights, you hear nothing. They're gone. It's quiet. Like they never existed. And that's where Rigo's at. So, I mean, he doesn't have a solid fan base. Why would Rigo even feel the need to continue fighting? I don't know. I think he should just retire. Just retire, man. This is disappointing. Disappointing because I would love to see that fire in Rigo and be able to say, well, hey, he lost, but he gave it his all. You know what I mean? Like you could say that with Marquez when he fought Pacquiao. Like, hey, he gave it his all. He didn't do shit. He wasn't able to land shit, but he kept trying. Every round he came in, he wanted to win the fight. He just couldn't. Rigo, he just quit. Man. And I see a lot of people already, a lot of people are not happy with this. Not happy with this, and they're looking for conspiracy theories to try to help rationalize what just happened last night. Because Rigo was put at such a high pedestal that with this happening, it's almost like their entire just concept of boxing is fucked up. Because if Rigo was a sweet science, if he is the true boxing master, then who the fuck is Lomachenko? Lomachenko made him look stupid. Where's the sweet science talk now? Let's see if people will attribute Lomachenko's technique and his abilities to the sweet science. Because from what I see, Lomachenko is probably one of the best fighters out there right now. Like literally just based on that performance, based on all his other performances with Gary Russell Jr., Nicholas Walters, Mariaga, Orlando Salido, even the fight where he lost, even that fight's impressive. Just the way he kept fighting. He never quit against Salido. Lomachenko didn't quit. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. Haplotype, Rigo's entire career has been badly mishandled. I mean, it's either been mishandled or it's been handled well, so good to the point where we had the media push an overrated fighter a little bit too long. You know what I mean? Maybe he got pushed. Maybe since he defected from Cuba, he was already on a downhill. He was already getting older. He was already slowing down. I mean, maybe, with all the bums that he fought and making him undefeated and making it seem like all these other fighters are avoiding him, moving up in weight. And I guess moving up in weight is avoiding, ducking Rigo, because that's the way people see it. So at the end of the day, maybe, just maybe, he was marketed and squeezed for every possible success that you can get out of Rigo at that age. Like, maybe they just milked it. They got him some fucked up fights with guys that shouldn't have never been in with him, and then finally got him the Nonito Donaire fight. He won that fight, and then he goes and hides in obscurity until this fight. And really, if there's any fights worth talking about, it's really just 2 fights in his career that you can really say it's worth talking about: Nonito Donaire and Lomachenko. So at the end of the day, I don't know. Some people might think that he wasn't promoted right, but maybe he was promoted just right. Just right. Because if he would have been brought in and made to fight tough fights from the get-go, like the way Lomachenko has been doing, Rigo wouldn't survive. He would have been fucked up. If he would have had to fight Abner Mars, Leo Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., just everyone around him, from all the weight divisions in between him and Lomachenko, Rigo wouldn't be able to survive that. Let's see here. Loma versus Thurman at 140. Let's go. Loma might be able to whoop Floyd. I meant Crawford at 140. Lomachenko versus Crawford. I mean, I don't know. I don't even think I think Crawford versus Mikey Garcia makes sense. But Mikey Garcia, if you've seen pictures of him standing next to Lomachenko, I mean, I would imagine Terrence Crawford is way bigger than Lomachenko. It doesn't make sense. There's limitations. I mean, to these fighters, they're only human. I don't think that Lomachenko has that ability to move up right now all the way to 140. You gotta look at Terrence Crawford's position right now. He's looking to move up to 147, and I don't think it's because there's better fights there. I think it's because he's getting too big for his own division. He's a big guy. He blows up to 150, 154. This is when he's at 140. So he's draining himself just to make 140. I think 147 is where he needs to be. Klitschko, Chocolatito, Solido. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the older fighters have gone, like, Miguel Cotto. But they didn't quit. Rigo quit, man. Rigo quit. It wasn't father time. It wasn't speed. It wasn't strength. It was none of that. The reason why he lost is because he chose to lose. That's why. When you quit, you made the decision. So there's no chance of winning. There's no chance to come back. Maybe land that one big time knockout, You look at Marquez. Marquez, before he knocked out Manny Pacquiao, he had a broken nose with blood coming out of his nose. His face was leaking. He could have quit, but he didn't. And guess what happened? He landed that perfect punch, knocked out Pacquiao. That's how you achieve greatness. The reason why Rigo is not going to achieve greatness is because it's not in him to want it. He doesn't want greatness. He doesn't desire it. He's not looking to prove it. It's just not in him. Rigo is just not great. He's not great. Mikey is at 130 and he's spoken about fighting welters. Yeah, Mikey will talk about fighting welterweights, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I didn't like the fact that Mikey Garcia didn't take the Cotto fight. I think that was a bad decision. He should have taken the Cotto fight. There's no reason why Saddam Ali should have gotten that. I mean, that's a good win. That's a good win. That's a good look for your career, and it's a good fight if it was between Cotto and Mikey Garcia. But something fishy about Mikey, man. There's something fishy because I don't really see him going after these fighters really like that. I don't see him coming out and really trying to make a fight. Like he went for a long time without fighting, like about a year, 2 years, and then when he comes back, like really, who is he fighting? He's fought Adrian Broner, you know. So I'm still waiting on Mikey Garcia to show me something. Rigondeaux turned out to be a coward. 100% turned out to be a coward. Mikey would have beaten Cotto. Yeah, which is why it's so disappointing to see Mikey, let that opportunity slip. It's disappointing because I think he would have beaten Cotto and probably knocked him out. You don't know. He could have knocked him out. But the fact that he didn't step in the ring with him, he not necessarily avoided the fight, but chose not to take it and is waiting for other opportunities. I can't imagine another fight that he's going to take that is bigger than a Cotto win. There's no one really around him that would give him that kind of that kind of publicity, Because Cotto, it's not just a name, but the fact that he's been fighting at 160, that would, maybe that would bring too many wolves out of, the shadows. Like, maybe if he would have fought Cotto, maybe the way he's looking at it is, well, if I fight Cotto and I beat Cotto, then everyone at 160 is going to be trying to call out my name. Everyone at 154, everyone at 147, everyone at 140. And he hasn't even touched 140 yet. You know what I mean? So, like, to have that kind of responsibility and have everyone from 160 down look at you as, well, this guy he's a solid win for me. Well, then Mikey Garcia, he'd just have a target on his back. But I would have thought that that's kind of the goal. You want to become that target for everyone. That way all roads lead to you, That's one thing that Floyd Mayweather was able to do very well, and it helped him. Helped him make a lot of money because he had that target on his back, and he didn't mind wearing it. So, let's see. I'm just saying, if you're willing to be a weight bully, it's time for you to fight bigger guys. 2 weight classes sounds about right for Loma. I'm just saying you. Well, yeah. But who's a weight bully? Lomachenko? I wouldn't say Lomachenko's a weight bully or Crawford, or Mikey. Who are you saying is a weight bully? Because in Lomachenko's perspective, he wasn't calling out Rigo. Rigo was the one fucking asking for the fight. This whole time I was saying Rigo should just focus on the people in his division. I want to see him fight the motherfuckers in his division. Jesse Magdaleno, in my opinion, that same Rigo that was out there last night would have gotten knocked the fuck out by Magdaleno. Real talk, anybody around him would have fucked up Rigo. Rigo just wasn't ready. Looking to cash out, took that $400,000 and is looking to go to bed tonight. That's it. Mad respect to Cotto, Mira, Yamanaka, Uchiyama, and Selma Moreno. They all fought to the bitter end like real warriors. Yeah, they all fought. They didn't quit. You know, I want to see Lomachenko versus Oscar Valdez. I like that fight. You know, there's a lot of fights around Lomachenko. There's a lot he could do. I mean, for right now, let him milk this. Let him milk this win. It's a big win. It's a big win. A lot of people are gonna try to make it seem like, oh well, he fought a smaller guy. It's like, nah, man. He didn't fight a big man fight. He didn't outmuscle him. He didn't outsize him. He outboxed him. So you got to give credit where credit is due. Lomachenko's a shit. You're not supposed to be able to do that to a high level fighter like Rigo. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Rigo always has that fucking weird look in his face, bro. That fool looks like he's hungry, like all the time. Like, not hungry looking to succeed, but hungry like he needs something to eat. Like, this fool, I don't know, man. He looks like, when they have those commercials of the kids that are homeless and they want you to donate, to help these starving children and shit in South America and Africa and shit. That's what he looks like. All he needs is like a fly in the corner of his eye to make it legit. And I donate money to Rigo. Fuck. That fool he just looks sad, man. It was funny though, because a few months ago, fucking Andre Ward and everyone was like saying, oh, Rigo's the best. He's one of the best. He's pound for pound. And then they were all at the fight there to support Rigo, And they all look they look disappointed as fuck. Especially Andre Ward. I don't know. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. I got shit to do. This is Aztec 101 in the ring. And I'm out.